Hello everyone, Samuel here for cryptospreadtrader.com. I have an announcement to make. We're gonna rebrand our system to Sambot, which is a more friendly name. So you will see in June the URL will change, we have a new logo, but the bot will remain the same and it's perfectly transparent to you. So now let's dive in the current cryptocurrency market situation. So I sent a high risk alert this weekend on the private Facebook group. I hope you did not freak out. It was not meant to do that. I just wanted you to be aware that your capital might be at risk if you put too much exposure. So what kind of risk? I will simply show you what happened to my 3 months profit. I kept my full exposure during the crash, and I think this is a good example of what can happen. So before I show it to you, you need to keep in mind that this bot is very effective in sideways market, uptrends, or mild downtrend, not market crash. Okay, so if the market crashes, you will lose more than you win. Okay, so this is why I would recommend in the current market situation to just reduce your exposure or shut down the bot if you prefer, and wait for the market to take a direction, either down or up. If it goes down, then it will be a perfect time to reactivate the bots because we won't go much lower, in my opinion. And if we go up, it will also be a good point to activate the bot, simply because there's a high probability that the crash, the purge, if I can say, is finished. So yes, this is what happened on my profits. So on the 3 last months, so from the 2nd of March and until today, so I was up $8,919, and with the crash I went down to minus $1,339. So it recovered yet, and now I'm up $585. So basically I lost a big portion of this profit, okay, which is not a big deal because I sold most of my holdings when we were around the 60k mark, and I still made profits the month before this. Okay, so I'm just showing you a 3-month period, but in the long run I'm still very much profitable. The thing is, I had a lot of new users during this last period, and they just came right at the moment of the crash. So this fresh money has just been destroyed, and I know it's a very bad feeling, and this is why you need to be more careful right now. So this is now how my bots look like. I had, I think, 14 bots. Now I have only 7 which are active. You might notice that I'm mostly trading against Bitcoin. My bots against US dollar. I've shut down most of them basically, and you can see that I reduced the layers on most of them. Usually I trade with 4 to 5 layers, and now I reduced to 2. So why did I do that? Simply because instead of doing a hard stop of the bot, what I call hard stop is simply selling at loss and shutting down the bot. I prefer reducing the layers, which will reduce my risk, and still see if the bot will win or not. So here you can see on the ADA BTC, I reduced to 2 and I still made some profit. And now I can shut down if I want, but I don't want to shut down this one because Cardano seems quite strong right now. But we can take an example of the Tron bot. So usually I expose about 1,000 to 1,500 USDT per bot. So I'm ready to lose this on each bot. So this bot had 4 layers, so you can see that my maximum loss was 1,347 USDT. And what I did by reducing the orders to 2 is reducing my maximum loss to 347 USDT, which is peanuts compared to the initial capital that I put at risk. I also take the option stop when all position is closed. So this will simply shut down the bot once it sells. Okay, it can sell at take profit, so with a win, or it can sell at stop loss. It doesn't care. When there's no more Tron, when the bot has no more Tron to sell, it will simply shut down. And this is what I want to do, because I just want to be on the safe side for now and see where the market goes. So in my message, I told you to prepare for both scenarios. So either the uptrend or the downtrend. So you might be asking yourself, how can you be prepared for both a move on the upside and the downside? So I'm going to explain to you how I did that. So just before I move there, I'm going to do a quick refresh on what I am expecting. So there are, for me, I can say 3 scenarios. Okay, the first one is that we continue, so I'm on the 4-hour time frame now. We continue doing higher lows, okay, and we break this triangle on the upside. Okay, I have a target about at the 44k mark. Okay, so this would be very healthy, and we can expect that the bull market continues. Now you have the bearish version, where the triangle would break down. So if it breaks down, where can it go? Okay, so how can you estimate this? So I will show you how I do. I simply measure the past big drops. So you can see here minus 63.71%. Here you can see 51%. And this one, which was the market crash, the beginning of the bear market, it was minus 65%. Okay, from the wick here to the wick down there. So with these measures, we can estimate that it should not go lower than 64%. So if we apply this here, 64% would be by the 21k mark. Okay, but we still had a crash which is pretty severe, about minus 50%. Now you can take from the top wick here, which would make our current drop to minus 53%, and our maximum drop around the 23,000 mark. Okay, so this is basically I'm just trying to give you an idea of how bad the crash can potentially be if it continues lower. But there's no precise point, but we know that it can go to the 23 or 21k mark, and it will still be within the range of its previous big crashes. Okay, so this is how I estimate where it can go. So you need to be prepared to both scenarios. So how do you do this? So either you do nothing, okay, but if you bought the dip like I did, okay, because I'm expecting that it will recover, but I can't be sure. Okay, so how do you prepare for this? I'm going to show you. So simply, I have my position in Bitcoin. Okay, so if it goes up, I'm okay. If it goes down, I have set a stop loss. Okay, so everybody set his stop loss as he wants. But there's also a third scenario which is very much likely, which is a big wick down, so that you get your stop loss hit and then it bounces back again. So if we don't break the 30k support, the trend is still okay. Okay, so just a wick here could make you get out of your stop loss. So what I personally did, I put a stop loss on half of my position. Okay, and the other half I will keep it in the market. Okay, I will always keep it in the market no matter what happens. So now if it drops from my entry point to 21k, instead of losing that, okay, I simply put on a position on the opposite side. So I traded against Bitcoin down. Okay, so this one will do the opposite of the underlying asset, which is Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin goes down, it will go up here. Okay, and now we can see how it acted on the move from the 9th of May to the 19th of May, where we had a 49% drop. So we'll go here from 9th of May until the 19th. So there we had minus about 50%, and here we had a plus 352%. Okay, why that much? Simply because the leverage token do 1.75 to 4 times what the underlying asset does, and this one does the opposite of the underlying asset. So this being said, if here from my entry point I have, so my entry point is about 36k. If I have minus, let's say minus 32%, okay, this means, so I did a little comparison here, okay, and with the 2%, I see that it did 6.5 times what the underlying asset did. So if I expect, let's say, a 38% drop, okay, we can estimate 6.5 times this, which would do a 247% upside movement. Meaning that here, if I lost 38% of my Bitcoin value, what I invested here would do 2.5 times the amount I invested. Okay, and if you put a stop loss here, you would put at risk 24% of this amount that you put here. So basically, I'm taking a bet. I'm not taking a bet. I'm taking insurance. Okay. So what I put here, I'm ready to lose 25% of it. So let's say you put 10k on the down, on the BTC down. Okay. You can expect to lose, if the market goes up, 25% of it, which is $2,500. And if it moves, so here the market crashes, okay, here I would do 2.5 times, about 2.5 times 10k, which would be $25,000. Okay, so simply put, if the Bitcoin goes up, and let's say I have a position of 20k here, I will lose on the BTC down 2,500, but here I would make much more than I lost. And if it goes the other side, okay, down, I would lose 38% of my Bitcoin value, but I would not sell it. Okay, at any point I will not sell it, and I will recover the amount I lost in dollars simply with the BTC down trade. I hope I'm clear. Maybe not really, I'm not sure, but basically this is what I'm doing. So I'm buying Bitcoin and I'm putting insurance on the other side. But if you're a beginner, I would not recommend doing this, and this is not related to the bot. Actually, this is manual trading. So maybe when you're more advanced you can do this, but if you're simply using the bot, I would recommend just to back off a little, wait, see in which direction we're going, and then reactivate your bots. So I hope this video helped you. I know sometimes when I explain my stuff I might be a little not very clear, if I can say, but I hope you got the idea of what I meant by saying get prepared for both situations. Okay, so if the market goes up, I win more. If the market goes down, I lose less. Okay, because I'm still losing. This is something important. I put more of my investment in the upward situation than I'm putting in the downward situation, simply because I'm a little more bullish. and I'm just taking insurance so that if it goes down, I will not lose a lot. I will lose very little, and I can take the money I want back here to buy again Bitcoin for a potential bounce. Okay, because when you have a real panic like this, at some point it will bounce back, and it will bounce quite hard. Okay, and it always happens like this. And what the market is trying to do now is to shake out all the weak hands and remove all the, especially new retail traders that came in the market. And I think it will do it quite well, as it always does. Okay, basically. And for me, the best play it could do to remove the maximum people would be just to do a wick down here and go back up. Even myself, it would reduce my amount of Bitcoin. Okay, but I'm in front of my computer every time, I mean most of the day, so if I see this, I will surely take another position. But this is what I do. Okay, I know a lot of people don't have time to stay in front of their computer and are not willing to trade actively, so this is also why I built a bot. This is my vision, this is how I will play it, and we'll see how all this goes. So thanks for watching, and see you next week.